Thank you very much. Hey, it's really great to be here. And I want to thank you guys here at Dalet for sharing the stage with us and having me up here. It's great to see the advancements year to year. And I think what they're announcing today around in the areas of editing and collaboration are really setting up the bar and raising the bar. So my job here at AWS, my name is Ian McPherson. I work on the partner team, and I work with media and entertainment companies and partners and help them understand how they can use AWS's services to build compelling products that get content into the hands of their customers more quickly. Also, help these companies to accelerate the rate at which they can produce that content, and finally, to innovate in the ways they can engage with those customers. So I think I'm a little bit like Alex Trebek, and I'm asking the questions they've already provided the answers to. But I wanted to share a little bit of the underlying vision for how we work with customers and partners. AWS starts with the customer and works backwards. And it's really understanding your customer's business and your customer's engagement model with their customers, and focus on that user experience. So a lot of what we focus on is providing infrastructure services with a global reach that are highly scalable and highly available, and managing and operating those services in a way that lets the producers and the content owners focus on building compelling content and not worrying about the undifferentiated heavy lifting of managing data centers, procuring technology, and building management practices around the core infrastructure. So we're looking to help our customers reach a global audience with a footprint that covers the entire globe without the overhead of having to provision and procure that technology. So when we're looking at the customer needs, and again, it goes back to what they've been talking about. It's the need to modernize the media enterprise, and taking either legacy incumbent leaders like Dalet and helping them to extend their reach and innovate more quickly with hybrid workflows, taking and instrumenting and capturing data about both the performance of the technology and the underlying user experience and preferences, and turning that into targeted and engaging content, and building agile workflows. So allowing customers to build new ways of taking content, processing it, and delivering it either directly, VOD, or through third-party content aggregators. So for a long time, AWS was thought of as just a cloud company. But we bought a company, Elemental Technologies, 3 years ago, and we've since taken that mindset of being an all-cloud company and said, no, there's absolutely the path from incumbent on-prem to cloud has hybrid in it, and it may never change. We may see companies and applications that will always have on-premise components to it. And we're completely embracing and supportive of that. So, we see that technology as complementary, and in those workflows are then looked at by our technologists as preferred if that's the customer's preference. So we think what Dalet has done here by being able to collaborate in the cloud with both on-prem and cloud-based content, whether it's for editing, production, or delivery, is absolutely the way customers are going to want their experience to run with AWS. So we have a number of services that we use and we provide for companies to build with. And those range from our core infrastructure services for networking and storage, and then building on top of that some of our higher level services like we talked about, AWS Elemental, for media processing, packaging, transcoding, and delivery. We have monetization applications as well with server-side ad insertion. Then we can look at companies who are in the production and post-production space. We have our technologies around ThinkBox to help you manage your post-production workflows and burst your rendering, and build rendering and bursting rendering into the cloud. And then finally, we have the suite of services both with artificial intelligence as well as our applications for support for virtualization of workstations that allow you to automate both where that content is processed as well as where that content is worked on. So one of the key things that I spend my time doing is working with companies like Dalet on helping them to understand the best practices around building applications in the cloud. We have a process we call the WellArchitected Framework, where we walk through the 5 key pillars of cloud design. And so by working with companies like Dalet and having them go through these processes, they can be assured that they're taking the best practices for not only availability and scalability, but cost optimization and security to their customers. And so our working backwards includes working with the end users on assuring that the implementation of those services meets those well-architected specs. So I am frequently in contact with and working with customers as well, and we're happy to engage with you along with Dalet to help you understand how we can optimize and improve architectures in both hybrid and cloud-only deployments. So at the end of the day, when we're thinking about how we accelerate, it's really giving you on-demand resources available throughout the world for you to build faster, for you to create content sooner, and for you to deliver that content in a very targeted and specific way, using agile best practices around serverless and containers, using intelligence we get from artificial intelligence as well as process automation and media workflows, and finally getting that content into the global audience through our distribution channels and our CDN. So when I come back to how this looks in an integrated workflow, we see Dalet here talking specifically about editing in the cloud, being able to take that content, getting it through the supply chain into the hands of the distributors and eventually straight to the consumer, and then taking the information learned about that to both optimize the content as well as target that content to the right people based on their interests and previous experiences. So that I leave there back to the beginning with Dalet. We've had a great partnership. We continue to innovate together, and I'm really excited to see what they've done here at the show. I welcome you to come visit us at AWS. It's booth South Upper 2202, and we'd be happy to show you and go into more depth about the different services and solutions we have. Thank you much.